Hello everyone, this is Dr. Prashanth and welcome back to my public health series. So in this video, I'll be briefly talking about social sciences and health. So to start with the introduction, it explores the relationship between social factors and health outcomes. It examines how social structures, cultural norms, economic conditions and behaviors influence health, illness and the healthcare systems. So by integrating knowledge from different disciplines like sociology, anthropology, psychology and public health, it helps to understand how societal factors such as income, education, race and environment affect individual and the population health. So this understanding informs policies and interventions which are aimed at improving health equity and addressing social determinants of health. So now let's start with the changing concepts of health. First is biomedical concept, where health was seen as simply the absence of disease. So based on germ theory, this model focuses on identifying diseases by finding germs or pathogens, ignoring other health influencing factors. So in this view, the human body is like a machine where illness is a mechanical failure that doctors repair. So this concept limits health to physical aspects, right? So overlooking social, psychological and environmental factors. Next is ecological concept, which emerged as a response to the limitations of biomedical model, because in biomedical concept, health was limited only to physical aspect. So in ecological concept, health is viewed as a balance between humans and their environment. So disease occurs when this balance is disrupted, indicating a maladjustment to the environment. Human well-being depends on both the natural and social environment, so better adaptation can lead to improved life quality even without advanced healthcare systems. Now coming to psychosocial concept, which recognizes that health is influenced by social, political, economic, cultural and psychological factors and not just biological ones. So health is seen as biopsychosocial phenomenon considering the impact of social environments on individuals' well-being. Next is holistic concept, where it integrates the biomedical, ecological and psychosocial concept of health to provide a more complete view of health. So it emphasizes the role of social, economic, political and environmental factors in maintaining health. So it views health as an interconnected system involving the individual and their environment. So if you can talk in terms of ancient times, a sound mind in a sound body within a sound family in a sound environment. So the holistic approach involves sectors like agriculture, water and sanitation, housing and public works to promote and protect health. Now coming to the models of health and illness, first is health illness continuum model, where health is seen as a continuum that shifts over time. So a person's health moves back and forth along with this continuum. And health is in a dynamic state, changing as people adjust to their internal and external environments. So what is internal environment? It's nothing but the body processes like body temperature. External environment include outside factors such as weather, humidity and pollution. Next is high level wellness model. So it was developed by Halbert Dern. So it focuses on maximizing health potential for individuals, families or communities. So it requires a balance within the environment to maintain wellness. So what is high level wellness? So as per Halbert Dern, it is nothing but using a positive approach to reach one's potential within their environment. Now coming to the next model, that is health belief model. So it was developed by Rosenstock and Becker and Mayman. So it examines the connection between a person's beliefs and their health behaviors. So it suggests that health actions are influenced by personal beliefs about health risks and benefits. Now coming to the next model, that is agent host environment model. So it explains illness as a result of the interaction between agent, host and environment. So health depends on a balance among these three factors. So what are agents? Agents can be biological like germs, physical, chemical or psychosocial. And host factors include individual traits that can be physical or mental and which increase the risk of illness. And last is environment. These are external factors that affect health, right? So examples, pollution and social conditions. Now coming to the social theories of causation of disease. First is social production of disease theory, where disease is not merely a biological phenomenon, but is influenced by the social environment. So it explored the concept of social production of health risks in environments with high poverty, stress or pollution. Next is structural violence theory. It refers to harm caused by social structures such as inequality and discrimination that prevent individuals from meeting basic needs. Example include how marginalized communities face increased exposure to disease due to inadequate housing or healthcare. Next is social capital theory, which posits that Social networks and support systems contribute to individuals' ability to cope with the health issues. So it discussed that how communities with strong social ties often have better collective health outcomes. And now coming to the last theory, that is health lifestyle theory, which links lifestyle choices often influenced by social status to health outcomes. A simple example, the difference in health behaviors between high socioeconomic groups who might exercise more and have healthier diets, and the lower socioeconomic groups might face more constraints on healthy lifestyle choices. So now coming to different theories of social change. First is unilinear, which sees social change as a straightforward linear process moving towards specific goals or endpoints determined by nature, fate, or a higher power. So society's progress is believed to follow a fixed predestined path. So what is the criticism here? This theory is overly simplistic, ignoring the complexities of social changes which may not follow a single path. It lacks scientific evidence, assuming predetermined outcomes for society's development. Next is cyclic theories, where social change follows repetitive cycles, where societies or cultures rise, peak, decline, and then potentially re-emerge. So some of the thinkers also compared social cycles to seasons in nature. Example, spring, summer, and winter. Next is evolutionary theories, which are influenced by Darwin's biological evolution, suggest that society and culture evolve over time, typically in stages that build upon one another. So let's look at some of the key assumptions. First is social change is natural, gradual, and progresses step by step. Each new stage is often viewed as an improvement over the previous one, and the stages are non-reversible. And now coming to next one, that is functionalist theory, which explains social change by examining how different parts of society work together and fulfill necessary roles. So society is seen as a stable system where each part, like institutions and structures, has a function that contribute to the whole. And now coming to the last one, that is conflict theories, which view social change as a result of conflicts between individuals, groups, or classes with different interests. Central to Karl Marx theory, this perspective highlights the role of class struggle. Example, between capitalists and the working class in driving the societal shifts. So now coming to theories of social epidemiology, first is psychosocial theory, which examines how people react to stress and the importance of psychosocial resources like social support for health. Second is social production of disease or political economy of health, which explores social inequalities in health and look at how economic and social structures affect health outcomes. And third is eco-social theory, which uses a multi-level approach to understand health inequalities. It considers how social, environmental, and biological factors interact to influence the health. So now let's briefly look at social, economic, cultural, and behavioral factors of health and disease. So to start with social determinants of health, it defined how conditions in which people are born, grow, live, work, and age affect the health. Second is economic determinants, which describe economic influences like income, employment, and financial stability, and their impact on access to healthcare, nutrition, and healthy living environments. And third is cultural determinants, where culture affects health beliefs, practices, and attitudes, shaping individuals' approach to healthcare, disease prevention, and treatment seeking behaviors. And the last one, that is behavioral determinants, which explore lifestyle factors such as smoking, diet, physical activity, and alcohol consumption that directly impact health risks and outcomes. So, what are the implications of social structure and socioeconomic status for health? So, before that, first we will look at the components of socioeconomic status. First is education, often linked to better health literacy, higher income potential, and healthier lifestyle choices. Second is income, which impacts access to healthcare, nutritious food, safe housing, and time for leisure and physical activity. Third is occupation, where the type of job affect exposure to physical risk and stress, which are linked to health outcomes. So now let's see the health implications of socioeconomic status. Access to healthcare. So, lower socioeconomic groups often experience limited access to healthcare services due to affordability, distance, or time constraints. Second is living conditions. Poor housing, overcrowding, and unsafe environments increase risk of communicable diseases, injuries, and chronic conditions. Third is mental health and stress, where economic hardships are associated with higher levels of stress, depression, and other mental health conditions. And the last one, that is chronic diseases. Lower socioeconomic group is linked to higher rates of obesity, hypertension, diabetes, and other chronic conditions. So now coming to behavioral models in health, we'll start with the individual models first. So under individual models, first is health belief model. It guides health promotion by explaining and predicting individual changes in health behaviors. So the main focus is on individual perceptions of a health threat. So we'll see some of the components under that. First is susceptibility, which is perceived likelihood of getting a disease. Second is severity, perceived seriousness of the condition. Third is benefits, belief in the advantages of taking action to prevent the illness. Next is barriers. These are the factors that might prevent action. Choose to action, that is triggers that prompt action. Next is self efficacy, that is confidence in one's ability to take the action. So now coming to the next one, that is stages of change model or trans theoretical model. So it has 5 stages in behavior change. First is pre-contemplation, where we don't consider the change, that is not considering change. Second is contemplation, thinking about the change. Next is preparation, that is getting ready to change. Next is action, that is actively making some changes. The last is maintenance, where continuing with the new behavior to prevent relapse. So now coming to the next one, that is theory of reasoned action or theory of planned behavior. It focuses on the influence of attitudes and social norms on behavior. So what is attitudes? It is positive or negative feeling towards behavior. Subject to norms include beliefs about whether others approve or disapprove. And next is perceived behavioral control, that is belief in the ability to control the behavior. So now coming to interpersonal models of health behavior. Under that we can see social cognitive theory. It explains behavior as influenced by the interaction of individual and the environmental factors. So it focuses on observational learning, that is learning by watching others, reciprocal determinism, that is interaction between person, behavior and environment. Third is self-efficacy, that is belief in one's own ability to succeed. And the last is behavioral capability, that is knowledge and skills to perform a behavior. Now coming to community and group models of health behavior change. First one is the ecological model, where it emphasizes the interaction between individuals and their physical and social environments. It recognizes multiple levels of influence, which include individual, that is personal knowledge and skills; interpersonal, that is relationships and social networks; community, that is where physical and social settings belong to; and next is policy, that is broader social policies affecting health. So now coming to the last one, that is precede or proceed model, which is a planning model for health promotion programs. So what is precede? These phases to diagnose and analyze a community's health issues. What is proceed? It phases to implement and evaluate the intervention. I hope it's helpful and thank you.